Welcome back to another episode of Mystery Tales from the Heart of India. Picture this: a moonless night in Delhi's southern reaches, where the city's distant hum fades into an eerie silence, broken only by the rustle of wind through overgrown ramparts. Before you stands Tughlaqabad Fort, a colossal citadel erected in 1321 and abandoned just 6 years later. Its crumbling walls still bear the echo of an ancient curse-and. Every brick seems to whisper the words of a Sufi saint whose prophecy condemned the fort to wilderness. Tonight, we unravel the legend of the curse of a saint that transformed Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq's dream fortress into a haunted relica, a city fated to remain ujjar desolate, or base gujjar, occupied by nomads forever. Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, born Ghazi Malik, was a trusted general under Alauddin Khalji and governor of Punjab. According to chroniclers, he once suggested to his Khalji master the idea of building a fortified city. The Khalji ruler laughed off the notion, quipping that Malik should build it once he became king. In 1320 AD, Ghazi Malik seized the throne, took the name Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, and began work on his grand vision, Tughlaqabad, the third historic city of Delhi. The new city's design was ambitious. A vast half-hexagonal wall 6 miles in circumference and up to 50 feet high encircled palaces, markets, mosques, mansions, and water reservoirs. The Kutub Road, linking it to major trade routes, sliced through the desert much as the fort walls sliced through the landscape. Workers hewn from the plains to the south labored day and night to raise ramparts of solid masonry, buttresses and battlements designed to repel Mongol incursions. Even grand elephants were pressed into service, hauling massive sandstone blocks up steep ramps. But construction came at the expense of another vital project in Delhi, the Bali stepwell being built by Sufi Saint Hazrat Nizamuddin Auliya in his Khanqa at Nizamuddin Bosti. The saint's project relied on the same skilled masons and laborers who toiled by day on Tughlaqabad and by night on the Bali. When Ghiyasuddin learned of this, he became enraged and ordered that all oil supplies to the stepwell site be cut off, halting night work. The saint, known for his spiritual power, is said to have miraculously turned the stepwell's water into oil, supplying his lamps despite the ban. Incensed further by what he viewed as defiance, Nizamuddin Auliya pronounced his fateful curse, Yabazi Gujjar, Rahe ujjar, meaning may this city be inhabited only by nomads, or remain utterly desolate. According to legend, the saint also uttered Hunyu's Dilli Dor Ast, meaning Delhi is still far off, prophesying that Ghiyasuddin would never return to rule from the throne he had so proudly envisioned. True to the curse, Ghiyasuddin died in 1325 on his journey home from a Bengal campaign. Accounts vary: some blame a collapsing pavilion set up in his honor. Others hint at palace intrigue involving his son Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Whatever the cause, the emperor never reached Delhi alive. With his death, Tughlaqabad's fortunes dimmed. Muhammad bin Tughlaq, known for ruthless experimentation, moving the capital to Daultabad. Introducing token currency diverted resources to other projects, leaving his father's magnum opus half-finished and lightly garrisoned. Within 2 years, abandonment set in. Canals fell into disrepair. Water supply evaporated in the summer sun. Markets went silent. Caravan routes reoriented toward Manvi and Surat, bypassing the desert ghost town. By the late 14th century, chroniclers described Tughlaqabad's walls still intact, but its gates unbarred, vines entwined with stone, and only the wind and wandering livestock to occupy its empty streets. Over the centuries, Tughlaqabad's walls witnessed battles and intrusions. In 1398, Timur's armies camped beneath its ramparts, looting any remaining stores. Timur's chroniclers recorded hearing distant moans of the forsaken fortress at dawn. During the Mughal era, Emperor Shah Jahan briefly stationed troops within the fort before ordering new constructions in Shah Jahanabad. Though part of the city's fabric, Tughlaqabad received little attention and fell further into ruin. Its great mosque used as a quarry for red sandstone in later periods. In the 19th century, British surveyor James Todd marveled at its gigantic scale and lamented its unfinished state. Colonial officers recorded reports of haunting howls at the southern bastion and warning lights seen by night patrols. In the 20th century, the Archaeological Survey of India officially restricted entry after sunset, citing hazards of crumbling masonry and venomous snake's butt. Villagers whispered of sinister reasons. that the saint's curse still held sway, and that ghosts roamed the ramparts, their mournful laments echoing at twilight. Modern visitors report strange phenomena at dusk and dawn. Tour guides speak of flickering lights darting along the walls like lanterns carried by unseen processions, the sudden echo of footsteps in silent corridors vanishing when pursued, the scent of burning incense wafting through empty halls as if a funeral rite were still underway, whispers of ancient Persian and Hindavi as though echoes of royal courts and Sufi gatherings linger in stone. Paranormal investigators armed with EMF detectors, infrared cameras, and recording devices find sharp electromagnetic surges near ruined mosques, corresponding to reported apparitions, temperature dips of several degrees in isolated chambers, colder than the desert night air. EVP captures of voices murmuring Hunyus, Dili Dur Ast, and Rat Navati, words linked to the saint and the princess of other nearby forts, suggesting a shared folklore thread. During monsoon season, unusual acoustic phenomena occur. Rainwater drips into hidden cisterns and echo chambers, creating amplified drips and splashes that travelers describe as ghostly cries or liquid laughter. Rarely, flash floods have swelled the southern moat, turning abandoned ditches into roaring torrents that trap unwary visitors until rescued at dawn in echo of the city's faded flooded fortunes. Yet beyond spectral tales, Tughlaqabad offers a living canvas of heritage and ecology. Local conservation teams have identified over 70 medicinal plant species, flourishing in the citadel's abandoned gardens Shankpushpi, Brahmi, and Ashwagandha, once used in Unani and Ayurvedic remedies. Each herb-bearing stone wall hosts climbers like Indian trumpet vine, whose crimson blossoms attract bulbuls and sunbirds. At dawn, one might spot a jungle cat stalking peafowl or a porcupine scurrying into quarries, where Celidaria viiformis orchids now bloom in hidden niches. Artisans in Samapur village, just outside the fort's perimeter, keep alive traditions of stone carving and tile work, originally used to decorate its palaces. They lead sunrise heritage walks, pointing out granaries, pigeon towers, and water cisterns, whose sophisticated hydraulic design once sustained a city of thousands. Children gather around guides, tracing ancient reliefs with dusty fingertips, as their elders recount tales of miraculous healing wells and secret subterranean passages. Cultural events have further revived the fortress's spirit. Each winter, a legacy of the Saint Festival fills the air with Qawwali under starlight, echoing the dual legacies of Nizamuddin Auliya's devotion and Ghiyasuddin's ambition. Light installations, project dynamic patterns on crumbled walls, geometric motifs from Persian manuscripts intertwining with arabesques of fallen petals, reminding audiences that history and myth coalesce in shared meaning. Local theater troupes stage nightly curses in Crown's productions, dramatizing the clash between the Sultan and the Saint. Spectators travel by lantern light through arched gateways, reenacting medieval processions and hearing the clash of steel on stone. Modern educational initiatives have transformed Tughlaqabad into an outdoor classroom. Universities conduct archaeological field schools within its precincts, teaching students to map ruins using GPS and ground-penetrating radar. History professors lead immersive workshops where participants dress in period costumes and debate the ethics of Ghiyasuddin's forced labor policies. Art therapy sessions invite trauma survivors to paint their emotions on temporary canvases placed against ancient walls, finding healing amid stories of broken dreams. The fort has also become a sanctuary for Delhi's endangered flora and fauna. Conservationists have documented nesting pairs of Egyptian vultures in the rampart crevices, while Indian gray hornbills roost in the crumbling minarets. During winter migrations, the flooded quarries attract demoiselle cranes and bar-headed geese. Environmental scientists study how medieval water harvesting techniques could be adapted for modern urban planning, using Tughlaqabad's sophisticated tank systems as blueprints for sustainable development. Contemporary artists have found inspiration in the ruins' juxtaposition of grandeur and decay. Photographers capture the interplay of shadow and light through broken archways, while musicians compose ambient soundscapes that blend field recordings of wind through stone with traditional Sufi melodies. A recent collaborative project between local schools and international art collectives resulted in temporary installations that respond to weather conditions, wind chimes that sing different notes. Depending on seasonal breezes and solar-powered projections that illuminate different sections of the fort based on lunar cycles, yet for all revival efforts, Tughlaqabad's essence remains bound to its curse. As the sun sets beyond the ridge and the final tourist bus departs, the archways sigh with memory. The wind carries the faint strains of qawwali, now fading into silence. The ramparts loom dark, sentinel to forgotten oaths and vanished dreams. Within their stones, the echo of Ya base gujjar, Ya rahe, ujjar, endures. A reminder that the greatest monuments may be those haunted by the voices of those who cursed them and the generations who walked in their shadow. So I ask you, when you walk among Tughlaqabad's ruined arches, do you feel the weight of the saint's curse pressing through centuries? Can a single word uttered in righteous fury shape the destiny of stone and soil? And as you traverse those ramparts, will you heed the warning of a saint's timeless verse? Or will you seek to defy it as Ghiyasuddin once did?
Share your thoughts in the comments below.
If this exploration of Tughlaqabad Fort's cursed legacy stirred your imagination, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell because next time, we journey into another corner of India where history's shadows refuse to fade and the past still lives in whispered legends. Until then, stay vigilant, stay curious. And remember, some legacies outlast walls and conquerors alike, echoing through time in every stone.